This is it just seems unusual, an 8-day break right in the middle of February. How is your team just getting ready for the next set of games coming up?
Yeah, it's been a long break, but it's everybody has it during the year. It's how the conference is set up. I don't know if it's set up because of the women's side, because our women played on Saturday, so I think we just kind of follow suit with our women. I think that's how they do it. I don't know why we have this long of a break. It doesn't make sense to me either. But you play the games that are on your schedule and you do the best you can.
Coming off of a huge win, top 10 win, just kind of reflect on how big that win was for you on Tuesday.
I really don't even remember that roughly. We're on to Cameron right now and really focused on them. And any win that we get is a nice win. But we're on to Cameron and Midwestern. That weekend is coming up here very quickly. It's Monday already. We leave on Wednesday. And we're trying to get ready for them because Cameron beat Commerce by 20 at Commerce. And I just got done watching that game, and they just took it to them from start to finish. So Cameron's playing some really good basketball. We made them look pretty pedestrian over here. I got to believe that Coach Brown will have his squad ready to go for us on Thursday night.
I think it'll be different playing in their home environment this time.
Yeah, no question. They're a lot tougher. It's a little bit smaller gym over there. If they get some fans in that gym, it gets really loud, and that makes a difference. We've had some great battles with them the last few years, some overtime games that and just some really tight ball games. And they've got 5 guys that can shoot it. They get to the basket, and they're playing really hard, and they're playing some really good basketball right now. And that's teams like Cameron, Midwestern. They want to try to knock off us and UTPB, who's our travel partner, and try to make a run at that conference tournament. Right now, they probably won't get in a regional unless they win a conference tournament. So they're kind of fine-tuning and getting ready for that. So we've got to have our A game. Otherwise, you can get beat by anybody, as was kind of demonstrated this weekend when Western New Mexico took Commerce to overtime, and then also Eastern got Commerce. You have to play well on the road, otherwise you are going to get beat.
So just to kind of jog your memory on last Tuesday's game, Gage Prim kind of had a coming out party with 18 points. Is it important to get the low post going this late in the season?
I think in any game that you play, you want to establish your inside play. You look at a team like UTPB, who's got some really big, strong kids, and then one of the best players in the league in Francis, and they get to the basket. And anytime you can get shots around the basket, high percentage shots, you're going to do well. To get Ryan Quaid going, who's shooting, I think, right around 60% from the field, we're going to get, that really helps our offense. And then we get some fouls down there. We get to the free throw line. We've got some great free throw shooters on our team, in our big guys as well as our guards. So yeah, getting the ball inside is key, I think, for any team, even a team like us who shoots a lot of threes. We want to get the ball inside, whether it's with the pass or with the dribble, and we're going to really work at that this week.
What are some of the things you've specifically worked on in this long 8-day break going into these 2 big road games?
We worked on rest. We gave our guys a couple days off. We've had a lot of injuries with Tommy Gove being out for the year. Gotch has been banged up. Ryan Quaid's had a little back issue here and there. David's always been dinged up because he always gets hit every game. CJ Jennings has got a wrist. Jordan Collins. I can go right down the line. And so I think the rest is going to help us a little bit, but we're back to our normal routine right now. It's Monday. It's a full practice. We're going to get after our guys. Tuesday, same thing. Wednesday, we'll kind of fine-tune some things. And then Thursday, we got a big game against Cameron. And then we get ready for Midwestern Friday and Saturday.
Cameron has 3 guys like between 10 and 9 points, not really like a high-scoring guy. What problems does that present for you?
I think with Cameron, one of the biggest problems is containing their dribble penetration right now. Just watching the film, they've got 5 guys that can get to the basket, and so if you don't move your feet, you're going to get beat. And then you got Momo and JV Long. Those guys have been there for a couple years, and they're experienced, so they're very tough to match up. Again, defensively, we're going to have some problems there, probably with Gage having to guard at wing out on the perimeter, and same with Ryan Quaid. But those guys have done a pretty good job this year doing that, and we'll be up to the challenge. There's a lot of teams like Cameron playing a little bit smaller. We do that once in a while too, and it's hard to defend, but we've got to get stops, and then we've got to punish them on the offensive end, not take quick shots, get a great look every time, and if the shot goes in, it goes in. But you're right. JV Long, I think, is playing some really good basketball right now. Momo can hit shots from anywhere, and then they've got some really good role players. The Williams kid, I believe it's the Williams kids, is he's a great athlete, and he can really get it going as well.
Tommy, Chuck touched on it briefly, but they're like 2-9 on the road, 6-3 at home. What is that place like to go into?
Yeah, it's not I don't want to say it's a high school gym. It's a great gym. It's a great court. It's small, and so if you get some noise going in there, the sound really echoes, and it's a tough place to play. But we've done well over there. We've had some success. We've won some tough ball games. But again, it'll be a Thursday night. I'm sure they'll have students there. They'll have the community will be there. It's probably one of their last home weekends as well. So I think they'll be amped up for us. And like you said, 6-3. A lot of teams play a lot better at home, and we've got to be ready to go.
And Coach, kind of talking a little bit about Midwestern, a team that gets fouled the most. What adjustments do you think need to be made now that in the past 3 games you've had Ryan Quaid, CJ Jennings, and Gage Prim that have accumulated at least 4 fouls or more? What adjustments need to be made against a Midwestern stingy defense that does get fouled the most in the Lone Star Conference?
Yeah, that's kind of amazing because sometimes the team that plays the hardest gets rewarded, and Midwestern plays really hard. Their guys from start to finish, and Coach Nelson does a great job with those guys, really getting them going. I think the one thing is you just got to move your feet, and you've got to play great defense, and you've got to box out because they're going to have 5 guys that crash the boards, and they make the little hustle plays. And if we're not ready to go, you can see that even when they came over here, they can knock down some shots. I think they shot over 50% from the 3 or very close to it. And so they don't take a ton of threes, but when they do, if you don't close out and you don't make it a tough shot, they can hurt you. And then if they do miss, they track down a lot of loose balls, a lot of rebounds. They are getting out rebounded this year, but they play so hard that I think they cause a lot of those fouls. So yeah, we got to stop. We got to move our feet, play good defense, not foul. We can't let them get to the free throw line, especially at their place. I think last year they didn't have a foul in the first 10 minutes of the game. And so that's one of the things. We've got to take the ball at them and maybe try to draw some fouls instead of just pass, shoot, shoot. We've got to really take it at these guys, both Cameron and Midwestern this weekend.
And how do you mentally prepare a team to go up against a Midwestern State team that has won 5 straight home games and historically coming into Midwestern and not having a win in a decade?
Yeah, we have. I know I've never won over there. We've had a couple close games, but they've had some very good teams in the past, and their team this year is very talented as well. They're just kind of coming out on the short end of some games, but that's a challenge for us. It's the same thing with going over to Tarleton later in the year. We haven't won over there. Midwestern, we haven't won. You really don't look at last year. You look at what's going on this year and what can we do as a team to put our players in position to go over there and get a win on the road. And that's what we're focusing on right now. It doesn't matter that they have 5 wins in a row or if they're 0-5 or if they're – it really doesn't matter. It's what we're going to do. And if we play well, we have a good chance of winning. If we go over there and we kind of stink it up a little bit, we're going to get beat. And our guys understand that, and I think that's something that the maturity level in our team is our guys are ready to go. It's a long season. We played 22 games. There's a couple games that maybe we weren't ready, and there's a couple other games that maybe we weren't ready as well, but we were good enough to get a W. And so it's coming down. Last 6 regular season games are coming up, and if we can get these 2 this weekend, it really sets us up for playing at home the following weekend and then on the road again and then the conference tournament. So a lot of basketball to be played and a lot of good teams that we're going to face here in the next 3 weeks.